Hello, friends. The next one is this in this module in this class. We're gonna cover very powerfully what is the next alignment and a little bit about law of attraction as well. And this has to do with something that quite honestly is not easy to teach this topic because it's so invisible. So it's going to be a challenging if you're hearing this kind of thing for the first time, especially if you're young, right? If you have already learned a lot about frequencies, vibrations, it's going to be a lot easier for you to kind of like comprehend. Now, I'm teaching the way that I would love to be taught and understand with a very visual concept. But when I started learning this topic, everyone has an opinion of their own, and quite honestly, there was not as much visual proof last time, and I don't know how to find. So, and it took me a while before I truly can comprehend and understand and really understand and really agree to the acceptance of this theory. And it was not that long ago that that there are devices now that can actually create the frequencies according to the attraction that you want. So, with that being said, so this is a quote by Albert Einstein that is taught to me by Bob Proctor. I told you he's my mentor, he's my teacher. So I transfer to you what he transfers to me. And we're gonna end this module with a little bit different, where usually we're gonna end it with a 17 minutes video, and the I will play it on this, and it might not, but I implore you to watch it because it profoundly will change what you think about how success is derived at. Um, so Albert Einstein said this, that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, it is physics. And I did not understood this at all when I first heard it. My brain cells don't connect at all. you know. So the next thing I found to try to understand this topic was the water experiment. And if you search this up, there's a lot of experiment on water and frequency and different hertz of different frequency and vibration actually can create different patterns and um, different things vibrate on different frequencies, kind of things. So when I was fascinated by the fact that success is not philosophy, it's not a spiritual thing, or it's not philosophy, but it's really just science. If you're vibrating at 432, okay, then you are vibrating at this pattern, for example, right? If you vibrate at another frequency such as 528, you will be having another kind of pattern. If you vibrate on 1,000 hertz, you'll be another pattern altogether, right? So, and if let's say, and you know how there was one day I was watching a dog, and we turned on the mosquito machine, where it's like the UV lamp. And apparently what the device do is it will turn when you turn it on, there is a it's gonna attract the mosquito to the device and kind of like kill it. So with the device, when you turn it on, is to get the mosquito in and kill the mosquito, right? Then after that, the pet dog will always run away and hide in the storeroom, and will go into a crazy fit. And uh, and it always happened in the beginning. We don't know why it's happening. In the beginning, we don't know why it's happening. In the beginning, we don't know. We just think that the dog is being crazy, right? And we didn't know when, or we don't know when the machine was being turned on. We don't know that it was the cause of it. Later on, when I realized about that, and then I come to awakening and awareness that dogs can hear the frequency of that device, of the UV lamp, that we can't, right? But just because we can't hear it doesn't mean it's not in existence, doesn't mean it won't hurt our eardrum. Um, and it's the same as the frequency of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, even microwave, isn't it? So, and just because we don't see Wi-Fi doesn't mean it's not there, isn't it? And when, for example, now you're watching this through a Wi-Fi, okay, and our body system is being activated and being triggered and attacked by the Wi-Fi's, by the signals, by the smokes of the cars. So all of this affects how we are, who we are. Can you imagine if, let's say, we are the dog, all right? We are the dog, and then after that, the the UV lamp is being turned on. And when the UV lamp is being turned on, we keep running away from the UV lamp. Okay? So in the same sense and in the same context, right? What happened is that the there are people who repel us away. There are some people in our life that we don't enjoy hanging around with because of that theory, and I realized that very very interesting. And because of that, there are certain people that really we just don't want to be around them. We just don't hang out around them. We just want to avoid. Some people call it like spiritual uha and things like that. But it's really just science, right? Some people just oscillate at a very low level because they are surrounded by guilt, they're surrounded by shame, they're surrounded by fear and greed that you just don't want to hang out with them at all. And we just run away from these kind of people, right? And but yet some people say that, oh, we don't have empathy, we don't have care, we are not caring enough, we're not uh, uh, um, loving enough. But hey, if you know, if you is vibrating at a frequency that we don't like and it hurts our ears, it's a natural repulsion, isn't it? It's a natural rejection, isn't it? So what I realized is that last time I was living below the line, right? You remember before that I was talking to you about below the line in the other teaching video, right? And if you're living below the line, guess what? What kind of frequency are you actually oscillating in? You might be the UV lamp that is and making the dog repulsive of the frequency of the noise that we as human cannot hear it, and rejecting, and you're creating your own rejection yourself by pushing people away from your life. And sometimes I cannot understand why a kind dog can still go into crazy fit just because we turn on that device. Now I know, now I realized it, right? So how do you and I realized that not everyone, but most of the people who achieve their dream goals in life, for example, the love of their life, the marriage, the relationship, the connections, the house dimension, the largest jet, the fastest car. I realized that these people naturally get those items because they were already in those level. They're already at vibrating at those frequency level. Now, I want you to imagine if someone is below the line and running on their frequency, yet those items and those goals and those dreams are actually on a different frequency. So it's going to be like a radio station. It's going to be like the TV station, So if let's say your radio station, the radio that you tune into is 111.1, and then um, you turn to 132.1. My question is, can you still hear what is playing on 111.1? The answer is no, you can't, isn't it? So if we the whole theory of this awareness exercise and this alignment is, are you aligned to your goals, and are you aligned to your guilt, your grief, your shame, your fears, right? And you might verbally and mentally say that you have done all that, but only you know if you actually which frequency are you living at. But my challenge to you and my goal to you and my principles of teaching this to you is that you don't want to live at a lower frequency, okay? um, and you don't want to live in a frequency of hatred, and so you don't want to repel people away, you don't want to and reject people away from your life, okay? And most people who are, if you want to do business with people who are higher frequency, who are, they always do things out of love, out of pride, right? And the positive ones, they do things they are proud of. They do things that they have pride in, and they do things that they love. They're happy in. Okay, they accept themselves. They have courage to do what it is that they need to do. They work towards peace and enlightenment. Okay, and if you want to be wildly successful, not just in selling and closing, but also spiritually and be a contributing member of the society, then my challenge to you is don't live below the line and live above it. So I'm gonna give you what I learned to at least start adjusting your frequency. All right. There's also devices out there. There's also products out there. There's also I suggest, all right, one of the things I suggest, I'm biased with doTERRA by now, right? And I use doTERRA to elevate my frequency, to be honest, because oils and plants, they oscillate on a different frequency, and that can help me move up the chain, move up the ladder. But what if you don't have essential oil by doTERRA? What if you don't have nutrition? You have to at least basic nutrition to move yourself up, right? Everyone I teach and who is successful in what they do always oscillate on a higher frequency and attract better clients, attract and get in line and attune and sync themselves up with higher vibrating beings and achieve better. So you can get devices, you can get the oils, you can get essential oils to help you, you can get into activities, exercise, change your circle. Okay, at the same time, what I want you to do is take a piece of paper, and I want you to do this exercise that's taught to me by Napoleon Hill. It's called the 5 steps to riches. It's found in his book. um, so remember something, what I teach is not my opinion, is what worked for me and what is still working for me, and it has worked tremendously for everyone else as well. So, with the 5 steps of riches is something that is very has profoundly changed a lot of people's life. Now, the first thing is you want to do is to write down how much do you want. Second is when do you want it. The third is what will you exchange for it. Fourth is what is your action plan. Finally, number five is read out every day. So as an example, okay, I want 100,000 or more in cash on or before. The keyword is or, right? So you want to write this statement, okay? So I want 100,000 or more, okay? The keyword is or more in cash or more on or before. Write your dates, okay? So in exchange for this money, I will. Okay, what would you do? Okay, you might say that you will stop living. You want to start living in with love. You want to start living to do the things that you're proud of. You will maybe not just that, but not just emotionally, but for example, if I want 100,000, I will give everything. I will give everyone what I've done that makes me work and help them make money. I will teach in all honesty and purity with transparency, and help them transform and transcend their life. So what would you exchange for the money? Very importantly, right? So you will commit this number of hours to selling and teaching. For me, in preparation for all of this content and program, uh, during the creation and the preparation, I actually did not participate in a lot of activity, including family gatherings, purely fully focused on the creation of this product and this program, because I tell the universe that I want this X amount of money, and I'm willing to sacrifice and I'm willing to exchange my enjoyment time, my pleasure time, in exchange for the money. So that's what I did. Okay, that's what I exchanged for. So so then after that, my immediate action plan, right? What is your immediate action plan? So my immediate action plan was to get started on creating classes, for example, creating the content, delivering, making the content as beautiful as possible, right? All your action plan, okay? All your action plan. My exchange, or one of my exchange is I made a promise that I will make it so easily implementable, actionable, as well as easily understood, simple enough to understand, right? Right. And I made a promise, I made an exchange. I said my focus is not in the upsell. My focus is not on the next program. My focus on is on this program and this program to create 100 success stories and 100 testimonials of all changes in their life transformed and transcended. Right? So to give you an example. So if you're watching this, you're one of them. Okay? And if you enjoyed it, I don't know if you did, right? Make sure to leave a comment, a review, a testimonial, and then let me know that continue to keep me updated. And if you have my direct access, then make sure you text to me your result, your testimonial, your result, your achievements. Let me celebrate you for you. Okay. So once you have done that, okay, then you read out every single day. And what I want you to do is take this piece of paper, okay, and slot it inside your pockets. Whether it's a right hand or left hand, doesn't matter. Slip it inside a pocket, bring it around with you every single day. Read it at the toilet when you're taking a poo. Read it when before a meeting. Read it at night before you sleep. Read it when you wake up. Read it on the bus. Make sure you read it every single day. And put it in your pocket. You know why? Because if you commit yourself to read 3 times a day, what happens is every time you touch your pocket and you feel this card or this piece of paper, what happens is that your brain will be triggered into the visuals and visions of the amount of the value of the money that you want and the exchange that you will be willing to exchange. And it remind you what the action plans that you already written down that you want to engage in. And all this will set off a series of it will set off a series of neurons, pathways, and all your synapses will start to bit by bit, daily, 1% by a percent by a percent, to start to connect the dots. Your brain is a brain neuron thing. And when I first learned this when I was about 16 years old, and all the way to 21 years old, I think I did not understood the science. No one actually talked about the science, and no one actually covered what is the science behind it. And back then, I think for the book Think and Grow Rich, it was too new. It was too early, so there was no science to back this up. So for me, why am I such a big advocate of doTERRA? Right, and I have no shame. I have extreme pride, and I am very proud to share with people. Because doTERRA literally has transformed my life and transcended my sense of being. Because with doTERRA, I have to learn a lot of the science behind how the oils help every single one of my customers and clients and my students and my team. I have to prove to them that it's science, not just the voodoo thing. Okay, I have to prove to them why it's pure enough, clean enough, and safe enough to consume and effective. So I have to learn the biology and the neuron pathway inside the brain and the body system of how it works. And when I learn all of those and I start to put together the pieces of information to connect the dots and to put it into a very, very practical framework to teach people, I realized, hey man, whatever I was doing the last 10 years to do all of this, to put this kind of thing in my cart, I realized that, oh wow, no wonder it works. No wonder it works so well, because whenever we touch the synapses and the brain neurons and they just works and they just connect and then it just explode, and little by little by little, suddenly everything just shoot up. Everything just works after that. So that's why it works, right? And if you're already in the program, I don't care whether you are in the self-learning, you took up the self-learning package or you took up the coaching package, right? Either way, you have already invested to learn this. Why not put it to action? Because that's what you're here for, isn't it? Remember, by taking action, only then result will show up. So I'll end this with this video is about 17 minutes. Enjoy. But you know what? I'll put a link to this video rather than on this slide. I'll put a link to the video to come with this module, and make sure you complete the 17 minutes. If you're on the self-study, make sure you complete on the 17 minutes. If you're on the coaching, you have to complete it. no choice. The choice is to complete it. All right. So watch it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.